Time to abandon ship.
Oh no!
Here we go!
Can I persuade you to join us for a drink? It's a tradition.
Here, here.
Jar Jar, homie, my main man, quickly. Before the Separatists attack, get into the escape pod.
Hey! This is escape, then we're the pod.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
You want some soup?
Don't you agree?
Another happy landing.
All right, welcome back, Blake and Reed.
Howdy, howdy.
Hey man, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, always good to have you guys back. And as always, there's more Star Wars chat to go around.
You hear that? Yeah,
new-
we've been lucky lately. Lots of stuff coming out.
Oh man, tell me about it. I mean, I guess the group of us have been pretty busy too, putting together these commentary tracks at the same time as these Mandalorian after shows, and what's next? I don't know what is next actually.
Have they announced anything? I don't think they have, like officially. Like they've named some of the things they're working on,
Yeah,
but there's no announced like release dates or anything.
I have a good feeling the next time we do any kind of Disney Plus sit down and review is going to be for Kenobi.
What do you think it's Kenobi?
It
'Cause
might.
I was thinking
It
it'll
might
probably be the other one they're working on,
or,
Rogue One.
Yes, yeah, or that, or actually, you know what? It could be the Bad Batch animated series. That's a
Oh,
possibility.
that's right. I completely forgot that they said they were going to do that.
That's a possibility as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say that first because I think they pump out the animated stuff faster than live action.
They do.
So
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'd probably put my money there. What's the deal with that? Is it supposed to? Is it prequel era or is it post?
It's about the Bad Batch after Episode 3.
Yeah. Okay, so it's after
Yeah.
3.
So it's after Clone Wars, but after Clone Wars, but before Rebels.
Before
kind
Rebels as well.
Yeah, so it kind of fills the. So it's basically Rebels took place really close to Episode 4, and Clone Wars took place really close to, between wedged in between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Bad Batch is gonna. Yeah, Bad Batch is gonna be like slightly past 3, probably even before, like the whole Jedi Order, like the Fallen Order game picks up. Like that's like 5 years later, and Solo and kind of thing. I think Bad Batch is gonna be even before that. So.
Man, they're running out of timeline space there.
Oh yeah, I think it'll be cool though because like this is also when those Darth Vader comics take place, and I know Reed, you've read those, right? Like, have you both read those?
I've read some, but not all. I think I read the first release stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't read the second season or however they call it.
But Reed, you read those ones, right? 'Cause you.
I don't think I've read all of them. I've read whichever ones like you let me borrow. Like I can't remember what the last one was that I read.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, it was just like those four Vader comics, right? And then
okay, yeah.
Maybe the. Yeah, I think that was. It picks up right when Episode 3 like ends, and then goes forward from there. Yeah, so I think that's basically when the Bad Batch show is gonna like take place, like right after. But, yeah. So this episode was pretty interesting. It's did anyone? It was chapter 10. Did you guys get the title? I totally blanked on the title.
The Passenger.
The Passenger.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember seeing that the first time.
Yeah, so honestly, like compared to the first episode, not as much happened. So there's going to be a little less to talk about here.
No,
but...
it is shorter of an episode as well.
I was going to say like
less.
10 or 15 minutes less, something like that.
Mm-hmm. There is a few things though that came up, which I kind of jotted down. But did any of you guys catch the couple blaster bolts that hit Mandalorian in the head?
And they ricocheted off?
Yes, because it's come up before a few times now with us in conversation, whether or not in canon the Mandalorian's helmet's actually made of Beskar or not. Because I know that you pointed out that in the expanded universe, they were not made of Beskar.
No, they weren't, because they weren't able to actually fabricate the metal into that sort of shape because it's such a dense steel. So they could only do plates. They couldn't do anything that'd be kind of like dome-ish, or like something small enough that would fit around someone's head.
Yeah. So it makes me wonder, I guess, is this now confirmation that
it kind of seems like Beskar? It? I would say that it seems more likely that it is than it isn't now, but that also raises the question then, the one piece of armor he didn't replace was his helmet. So does that mean the helmet was Beskar before? Because the rest of his armor wasn't.
I think so. When and he also had the one shoulder pad, I think was Beskar, and then when he gets all the other stuff,
the first thing he gets is the pauldron. So when we the very first time we meet him at the beginning of the very first episode, none of his body armor is Beskar, and by the end of the first episode, he gets one shoulder.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that still leads to the helmet being the only thing, which...
I guess it is, yeah. How do you feel about that one?
To me, that seems weird that he would have had a Beskar helmet to begin with, because it's such a rare metal, and nothing else on his body is that. And does that mean all of the Mandalorians, all of their helmets are Beskar, but the rest of their body maybe isn't? Makes this weird gray area.
That's just it. I don't really know. And then it also... when you put his helmet next to Boba Fett's helmet side by side kind of thing, it makes Boba's helmet look like such an old design. I don't know, the shape, the way it flares out at the bottom a little bit. Because I noticed that amongst the Mandalorian crew, they really kind of adopted the whole this is a creed, and everyone's got their own set of armor, and they kind of almost
Mandalorians are always like that. They've always been known for painting their own gear and kind of being unique in design. Though I think just as far as the art style that we saw through the 90s and the 80s, they mostly stuck to relatively the same kind of overall manufactured design. I think that was just an artistic choice at the time. EU has always had a whole bunch of different types of armor, stylized types, and we really learned that in the Clone Wars series as well, because when we meet the Mandalorians, they all have different helmets, right?
Yeah, actually in the Clone Wars, the Death's Watch in particular, they've always got the same stuff. But I think it was Star Wars Rebels which started to kind of diversify them a little bit.
Well, the main woman, she has a custom helmet.
Oh, Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan,
the girl.
yeah.
So she's got a different one, which is kind of more tailored to female Mandalorians.
And then when Maul takes over, they all customize their helmets again.
They do,
right?
yeah.
So they add all the horns and stuff.
The shape and the general sense of the armor, though, was basically all the same, across the board.
I think that's just a budget thing on the the creative side. Honestly, I think it's more that than anything else.
So really, this show is kind of the first show to kind of canonize the whole fact, the visual aesthetic that these Mandalorians are basically the way that our real world costume group works. Mandalorian mercs, they all have really unique armor sets, and
that fits the whole Mandalorian type better too, right? Because they're supposed to be essentially Vikings, so they all live in clans and they raid and stuff, and they're they have a war culture, so they're soldiers at their base, so they're farmers and soldiers, right? You're not just one job. You're going to be something and a soldier, so everyone has their armor, and it's always been. It's very clan based. Usually, your armor is signature of what clan you're from. Mm-hmm. At least by color is normally what it is, and then you're left to be creative upon yourself, unto yourself.
Interesting. Anyway, so that was basically the first thing that I caught, at least, was just to kind of round trip it. Was that, I guess now it's confirmed, his helmet is Beskar. I mean,
it seems like it. I mean, you could also just argue that it is a different metal, but at the same time, it's just like we finally see armor that does something.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'm still on the fence just because of I would say based on that one shot, it is Beskar, but because of the fact that he had it before everything else when he didn't have any Beskar, seems less likely that it is. So I'm going to wait for Pablo to say yes, it is.
You're like on the 98.9%.
Yeah, I could go either way. Storyline-wise, from what they've shown us, I would say it shouldn't be, but...
So you think the helmet would come last when it comes to Beskar?
Again, it depends if they're sticking to the EU original typing, which was it isn't. You can't make them.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. What did you guys catch as far as this first episode goes? I got a few more, but we'll kind of just popcorn it.
Well, I was talking to you a bit about at the beginning of us watching it there about the fact that they kept that droid just like in a bundle inside the ship. I guess happened. I guess Mando shot him and blew him apart in the previous season, and I guess just conveniently left the droid just hanging there in the corner for who knows when you'll need it, and then lo and behold, it shows up being needed for a translator in this episode.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure.
I thought that was a little convenient, but I thought it was funny. I didn't know if that was like premeditated or not, or if it was just like, what can we use? Oh, there's that robot. We'll just say it was here.
Yeah, and
we were watching the intro, with the flashback, and I'm like, that's the very first scene we see is that droid, so I knew it was going to be relevant for some reason, but I couldn't even remember if it actually happened in the last season or not. So I'm like, did they just add this in as an excuse?
Yeah, I know. I guess it was kind of. I guess it felt out of place because it was like the one shot that was from the previous season. But honestly, I'm super glad that they brought that character back because Richard, what's his name? Richard Ayoade or something like that.
Okay, I'm not sure.
It's Ayoade. Ayoade. Anyway. He's the actor that plays that droid, and he's a British comedian. Actor.
Yeah, I recognize the voice.
Yeah. So the crazy thing about this character is one of the funniest British comedy shows I've seen, at least in my opinion, was the IT Crowd. I just really thoroughly enjoyed that show.
Oh, yes. Okay, now I know exactly who we're talking about. That's hilarious.
Like fluffy hair, glasses.
Yeah, Moss.
Yeah, Moss. Yeah, Morris Moss. Yeah. So the thing about this character, which is pretty crazy, like mind-blowing fact, nobody's gonna care about this except for like you and me maybe, but when we did so Reed, just to fill you in, like a couple of years ago, we did a Star Wars role-playing game, and it's called Edge of the Empire, except we kind of modified it a little bit, pushed the timeline towards after episode 6, around this time, like around and I called it Aftermath. The whole we had Wes actually host he GM'd the game, so it's around the same timeline as this series. And I made a droid which was kind of stylized after K2SO, but when I roleplayed as this character, which I called Chip, CH1P, I actually used the voice from Morris Moss from the IT Crowd.
That's hilarious, yeah.
And I think when Bryce asked me about it, I confirmed him. I was like, yeah, no, it's total. I'm totally basing this off of I'm taking K2SO and then Morris Moss from IT Crowd and merging them into one
together. Yeah.
And then the episode that this droid shows up in the first season, it just blew my mind. I was like, yes, I should be on the casting team for Star Wars or something.
Oh man, they stole your idea, man.
They totally did. They totally
Kathleen
did.
Kennedy, an angry letter.
This is how many years ago now? It was 4 years ago.
No, that was the one that you GM'd. Wes's was 2 years. It wasn't super long ago. It was in your new apartment. Yeah.
You should just straight up sue them.
Really?
Just
yeah, we did it. We did it in your new place.
Claim
it must have been when I first bought it or something. So yeah, maybe 2017, 2018 or something like that.
Yeah, but, there you go.
Yeah, so yeah. Anyway, it was pretty crazy. So I was like, man, that's such a great character because like I've always loved the actor, and I think he's a perfect droid, like perfect.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, his voice just goes with it so well because like this kind of like nasally British accent.
It's so naturally droid. Yeah, it's just perfect, right?
I mean, it goes to show, like, in the episode, we hear his voice, and, like, it's so fitting. I recognize the voice from something, but I can't even picture what it's from because it just fits in so well.
Yeah, exactly. So I was really stoked that they actually brought him back just for even a voiceover to do this little droid hanging on the wall thing. But I hope
we find out there's like an entire fleet of them, and they all have Moss's voice.
I hope so, because I mean, because Taika Waititi plays the IG-11 assassin droid from the first season, and he comes back as well.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
And Taika plays a great droid. He played an awesome assassin droid, I think. But you know, there's such great droid characters. I really like droid characters, you know. At least good ones, right? Not visual, aesthetically pleasing ones that sell toys, right? Like, you know, it's like
you don't like your
nice.
Dios.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, yeah, I don't care about my Dio. It's like
maybe if it wasn't voiced by JJ, you'd like it better.
No, I don't.
Which one was that one from Solo?
Oh, that was L3.
That's it.
Yeah, L3.
L3.
Just the most painful.
Yeah,
so bad.
She L337, and excuse me, I think she was played by a very famous actress.
Yeah, she was.
Who I'm totally blanking on her name now, but she's also a British actress, and she's actually had something to do with Star Wars before, if I'm not mistaken. I think she was involved with some sort of production thing, or maybe I'm thinking of another movie, but yeah,
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
L3 droid actress. Let's just look this up.
While you're looking that up, I just wanted to mention that they took a Force Awakens alien and threw it in the beginning there. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, the junker guy.
Yeah, the guy with like the steel claw face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's the same alien as when we just meet Rey and she's like cleaning up the scavenged parts, and that this alien is like the same one, like shows up next to her and like just shoves her for no reason, like and he just left like, what?
yeah, totally. I wonder if it's intended to be the same character.
I was questioning that too. It might be. Well, we know what happens to him. He falls to his death, so probably not. Maybe it's his cousin.
Oh yeah, right. Of course.
Yeah,
he's dead now.
Which,
yeah,
I do want to point out, I thought that was really clever. I was not expecting that. I thought he was actually just gonna let him get away, and he just like shoots him off into the sky in the jetpack.
Yeah, totally.
I thought that was good.
I thought that was brilliant.
The classic move where you like see the characters just like watch them go up into the sky and then fall back down.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and I'm thinking of sorry, I wasn't it was something not Star Wars related. It was 007 related. She recently was a writer for the screenplay of No Time to Die, which is still going to come out, which will be the last Daniel Craig film. But yeah, she's been involved with that one. So
I mean, the last one was going to be the last Daniel Craig film.
Yeah, the last one before that was going to be the last.
Yeah, I think Skyfall was supposed to be the last one, wasn't it?
It was the last one for the time being.
Yeah,
and then
Skyfall was the first last one.
Yeah, what is it? I didn't even realize that.
It's like,
yeah, because usually they're in threes, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's like all the Die Hard movies, you know. It's like, oh, there's another one. There's another one.
Yeah.
Or Jason Bourne. It's like, oh, there's another one. Oh, that one doesn't have Jason Bourne in it, but it's named Jason Bourne.
Rambo.
Rambo. Rambo is almost as bad as the Rocky movies, man.
Oh, Rocky, yeah. And then with the Rocky movies, they end up just spinning it off and changing the title of the film.
They're like, it's Rocky, but not because they got a new guy.
Yeah. Creed.
Oh,
I
gosh,
still have to
that
watch
was
all these films, but I just love all the familiarity when it comes to this show in general. I mean, it makes me think of that when I see familiar droids like the treadwheel droid. That's made appearances ever since Empire Strikes Back. Showed up in the Clone Wars quite a few times. It's just something very very much in the spirit of original Star Wars. Is that you have all that same content in this show. And seeing the Mos Eisley Cantina again, I
totally agree. Cool. Super cool. It makes it. Some people say it makes the world smaller, but if it's done right, it doesn't have to, right? Like,
exactly.
We've now learned that Tatooine only has 3 places to go to, one of which has been erased from the map. So people are gonna run into each other there, right? Like, it's not that big. So it's not like you're on Coruscant or something.
No, and it's like it's an outer rim planet and it's a dust ball. It's not exactly like a hot spot to go. I mean, it's more populated than a place like Jakku, but it's not like it's nothing crazy, Like, I mean, the biggest event of the year that happens there is the Boonta Eve, I think, and
But we do learn actually there's quite a few people. I mean, the crowd was quite large.
Yeah, and I think it's people that come in from maybe other planets.
Off planet,
like that.
Could be.
Yeah, but so this is like an interesting planet that I think you asked me about this, Blake, when we were watching the thing. You asked me if I thought it was Hoth, because they don't exactly confirm exactly what planet this is.
Say,
No, and it does. It's a wintry planet with snow on it and ice, and
we should be able to find out just by figuring out how close it is to Tatooine, right? Because if you left from Tatooine, then whatever the next planet over that's a snow planet, that's what it should be. I don't think that's Hoth. I think, I'm just throwing that out there. But I guess
is there like a Star Wars map or something like that just online you can just check out?
Oh yeah, there's a map of the galaxy, man. Like,
seriously?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's been around a long time.
Dude, I've got an entire book called the Star Wars Atlas, which has maps on every page, about different little clusters and the regions, and then it gives you maps based on the history of the expanded universe timeline. It's
there's people
crazy.
that go really hardcore into that. There's been a lot. It's been fleshed out a lot. I'm curious how much of it is still canon, though.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. I think as far as the location of Naboo. Sorry, I'm looking at the map as I'm trying to find the words to say.
Do we know which what planet was he going to again?
I'm looking for a Tatooine.
He was heading towards Trusk.
Oh, here we go. Tatooine. I found Tatooine. So it's in the bottom right-hand corner of the overall kind of the galaxy map in this book.
I don't see Trask.
It's very close to Geonosis.
I think that's a new planet.
Christophesis. I think Hoth
is right next to Tatooine. That's interesting.
Yeah, very close. Yeah, they confirmed that in Attack of the Clones that's why the whole reason why they go to rescue Obi-Wan without the rest of the Jedi, because they're so close, right? Padme and Anakin, that is.
Yeah.
But, no, I don't know where Hoth is on here. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it's nearby. Doesn't look like it.
Okay, I wouldn't have thought it would have been. I think Hoth is supposed to be even farther away, was my understanding. Or at least it's somewhere very isolated.
Yeah. Yeah, but if it is just some interesting ice moon, then cool, whatever. I guess it doesn't need a name. But then I started doing some cross-referencing, because I was like, okay, there's these spiders on the planet. It's got to be something. Maybe.
They look the same as the other Ralph McQuarrie spiders we've seen, right, in Rebels.
I'm glad you brought that up, because the ones that we see in Rebels are the exact same as the one in this show. They're called the Krykna. They're predatory, non-sentient spider-like creatures native to the planet Adelon, which the planet Adelon was in the Lothal sector, showed up in Star Wars Rebels. It's where the Rebels went in one of the episodes or whatever.
Right, yeah, it was after they left Lothal. They landed on that planet that was overrun by those spiders, and they need to keep them away with the transmitters.
Yeah, they had like a gate of like transmitting devices that kept them away. But so that's where the rebels hide out for a while. But that's not an ice planet at all. So I guess these Krykna managed to also settle on other worlds as well. But of course, we've seen how they possibly could have gotten off world.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are based on a concept art by Ralph McQuarrie, which was originally done for episode 5. And it was a Dagobah life form called the knobby white spider, which first appeared in Kevin J. Anderson's 1995 Star Wars Legends novel called Darksaber, and the illustrated Star Wars Universe book as well. So, yeah, this is also a basis for the spice spider and the ice spider, which are very much... Oh, okay, so the ice spider is, I guess, just an offshoot of the same exact species.
So is that what this is? What we just saw? Ice spider?
It's being referred to on the Wikipedia as the ice spider, but it's definitely supposed to be the same realm of creature. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they look the same. They have like a central tall body with legs sprouting out from the side. So
yeah, they look
like
almost
they're not
identical.
like traditional bug shaped.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're intended, I think, to be the exact same thing. Because I mean, Dave did Rebels. He's involved with the show too. So
it makes sense. They probably were thinking like, what could we use? And then Dave suggested this. But I have to say, I was really impressed with the way they did it because I got like mad like Alien vibes from it, the Alien franchise.
Yeah,
and it was so well done, man. With like the kid like going up and like cracking
it open.
Yeah,
and,
just open the spider egg.
Opened almost the exact same way as the ones from the Alien. Like the Alien ones,
like a petal, right? Like a flower.
Yeah, exactly. Like the eggs like blooming or whatever.
Reed is a big. Reed loves the Alien. The Alien franchise.
I love it.
Good movie.
He's a big fan. He's a big fan.
So good.
Like I was half expecting the facehuggers just like jump out at the kid.
Honestly, I would have been so excited if that happened. I mean, they're super creepy, like sci-fi horror creatures and stuff, but that would have been the greatest franchise crossover of all time in my mind.
I think there's a lot of people that have thought about it, like fighting like the alien of like lightsabers and stuff.
No, 100%. That would be so cool, man. Oh my gosh.
Like Dark Horse or something's done it. They've done Indiana Jones, Star Wars crossover. I'm sure they've done Alien.
Yeah. Honestly, man. Gosh. So cool.
They just used it so well, and you get all the eggs like shifting and like peeling apart all at once. Like,
it just makes you so uncomfortable because I mean, like, anyone that's like, you don't even have to watch any of the Alien movies for that moment to make you uncomfortable.
Oh man, yeah,
like,
just the wriggling.
Oh yeah, it's so gross. Like there's nothing like you. I mean, we see him pull the spider out and just start like munching on the thing.
Yeah, the spider legs hanging out of his mouth.
It's just like, wow. So you're already grossed out, and then just seeing all them wiggle, like, ugh, so
man.
gross.
Yeah. I think the gross factor in general of the fact that he actually eats one of these things is it's cringy. It's cringy.
I want to know what he won't stuff in his mouth. Like I want them to like draw the line for us in an episode and just show something that's just so completely nasty, and then he just like he either goes full bore and just stuffs it down his throat, or he rejects it. Like I'm waiting for that moment.
He spit out a frog once, but it was after the kids were all like scolding him.
Yeah, they were like, "No, gross, ew."
Yeah, he felt bad and he spit it out. And now we see him eating spiders, unborn spiders.
Yeah, just like, and shamelessly sucking back the offspring of the freaking
the frog lady. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
These are the last of my family line. The kid's just eating them in the background.
He's just sucking them up like eggs or something like that.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
it's like having a bowl of jelly beans in front of him. He's like, nom 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 nom.
I love that the second time we see him do it, he's like hiding under a blanket too, so like they can't see what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when he whips off the blanket, he's just like startled, like just like
oh, I've been caught.
Oh no! How many did you eat?
Yeah. It reminds me that like a kid who gets a bunch of chocolate and like hides under their bed covers so they don't get caught.
Or dude, yeah. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
dude, yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
honestly, I'm a little disappointed that they didn't have the frog lady like point out like it looks like there's less than there was before.
Right?
And then Madam could be like, "Yeah, you're crazy."
Yeah, I kind of wish that she at least like gave some sort of like confused look when she gets the jar back.
Something, yeah.
She's like, "Huh?" Like, you know.
Like weigh it or something like that. Like
After that second time that the child like starts like eating them, like he makes a big dent. There's got to be at least half missing. Like there's
Yeah,
a
for
lot
sure, yeah.
gone.
There's a lot less.
By
yeah.
the end, there's like 6, and they started with like 30.
just wipes out half of a generation of their offspring.
I gotta say, the cameos that showed up in this film, both done by Dave Filoni and an actor, he goes by the name of Paul Sung-hyung Lee, which is he's known for Kim's Convenience.
Oh, it is him! I kept thinking
Yeah.
that it was him or not, but I
Yeah.
couldn't. With the X-wing helmet and everything, I'm like, I couldn't quite tell. And also, he didn't have an accent, so because in the
Yeah.
show he's got a really heavy Korean accent, so I'm like. Because he has a perfect American accent here, so I'm like, I can't quite tell if it's him or not. It looks like him, but I'm not quite ready to say it is.
So Dave Filoni's character, I guess, his character's name is Trapper Wolf. To go along with Dave's obsession with wolves.
His name is Trapper Wolf.
Trapper Wolf.
Oh
Yep.
my goodness. Dave, what are you doing to us, man?
I know. It's yeah. So
Ugh.
the last time we saw Trapper Wolf was in episode 6 of the first season, and he cameoed with 2 other directors from the series, Rick Famuyiwa and Deborah Chow, and the 3 of them blew up that space station that the Mandalorian brought the prisoner that they actually referenced in this episode, the one that they said he kidnapped or
Liberated
something like that, and basically replaced with the 3 other people that he dished behind the cell. So that actually got him out of this mess that he was almost nailed for. But I thought that was like a nice little callback, because I was always wondering like what they would do with that story and like what kind of consequence would come out of that. And it turns out that little act that he did kind of saved his skin in this episode from the New Republic. But I don't know, it's kind of cool that Dave Filoni actually shows up twice at this point, because
Yeah, it seems like a reoccurring X-wing pilot, I guess.
Yeah, I always thought he was just going to be like a one-off kind of like he's in this
Cameo, yeah.
episode and that's it. But he had a decent amount of screen time, and he had some lines. So
Yeah, well, we mostly heard the guy from Kim's Convenience, which, by the way, I looked it up, and it is filmed in Toronto, and the actor, who is same as the Mandalorian, he actually is from Calgary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as I read online anyway.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, but most of the lines were from the Korean guy.
Yeah,
Kim
yeah,
Sung.
yeah. He was he's like he's the actor, the real actor.
Yeah, Dave only had like one line.
Yeah,
which was
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, can we switch to channel 3?
Just switch over to channel 2. Like they should have made it more whiny. It's like,
just like real obvious that it's Dave.
Yeah, you want to switch over to channel 2.
And then when he's shooting the spiders, he like takes off his helmet, like puts on a cowboy hat.
Dude, that would be amazing. Like just straight up Dave Filoni, like in the show. Like
dude, that'd be so funny. I gotta
So
call him
good.
like Trapper Joe.
Or on his, he's got like a Cad Bane sized cowboy hat that he whips out. Like,
I would not be surprised.
Or maybe he's got maybe some cowboy hat emojis on his X-Wing helmet, like right in the front. That'd be pretty good as well. But yeah, I don't know. Did you guys get anything else, or I don't know? It was a pretty non-eventful episode, but still cool.
Well, it's funny because like it's fun to watch, and it didn't have a lot of like major story points. Like once we got onto the ship, and like I guess after the whole X-Wing thing, there wasn't a lot of like particular story.
Right. There wasn't even that much dialogue, action. Really.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Like, it was pretty quiet overall.
Yeah, because I mean, like, right away, it's like, I don't know how to talk, like, or speak your language. It's like, okay,
yeah,
so
and then just like, well,
a few times, he'll answer, and then it's just gonna sit there, like, and then it's the spider sequence, so it's just like pew 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 pew, and that's about it. Like, it was a good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Something I noticed though is like his ship is like super destroyed at the end.
Oh yeah, big time.
And I feel like this has happened multiple times in this show, and I don't know where he keeps getting all the money to repair it constantly.
I have no idea. That's gonna cost
a lot, right?
I have no idea, but in the next episode, I believe it's going to be on whatever SeaWorld that they showed in the trailer, because there's a few trailer shots where you actually see those frog people on that planet, and I think it's going to be the same episode. I think it's called. In the next episode?
Yeah, the planet's called.
I don't think it will be, because remember in this episode they talked, or the frog gecko lady talked about how hard she and her husband have worked to get away from their own kind. So right. I think when they get there.
Well, she said it's the only habitable planet for their kind.
Oh, is that what she said? I thought she had said that they were trying to get away from their kind.
No, it's the only habitable planet for their kind.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I also wanted to point out that spider like smashes the windows. The big spider smashes like the glass. At least we hear glass noises.
I don't know how they fix that.
Like he's like, all I can fix is the cockpit to pressurize.
But and it's all he has
is like
is broken.
He just has like a welder. So I guess you could argue it's transparent steel, but like, can you weld that? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he's got some sort of like stuff that he sprays and it seals or something. I have no idea. Yeah, I mean, space works differently in Star Wars from what we come to understand, but
he's able to take a ship that's totally wrecked like through atmosphere.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm pretty sure you'd be burning up and exploding, but whatever. Star Wars, I'll let it go.
See, I like to think that the consequences of having his like beat up ship is going to leave some sort of
story point later.
Exactly. It's
I hope so. I hope they don't skip over it, because that kind of happened in the first season, right? Like his ship gets like torn apart, and then I guess we do learn that they repair it, and then doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it gets destroyed again, and then it's just like fixed after that.
Yeah, it makes me wonder as well, because we've seen Boba. It makes me wonder if maybe they'll have a team up and then we get Slave 1 again. Maybe,
that'd be cool.
Maybe that ends up in his hands and as the new ship.
I don't want him to drive the Slave 1 though. I really don't. That's...
Yeah. Well, do you want him to kill Boba Fett though?
Yeah, I want him to kill Boba Fett. I want them to show down. He decks Boba Fett one shot, and Boba Fett's just done.
He just like screams and falls into another Sarlacc pit.
Goes Indiana Jones, like Boba Fett wields out like a stick or sword thing or whatever, or even the Darksaber, like lifts it out, like wields it around and stuff like that, and then he just draws his blaster, shoots him, and then he falls back.
Oh man, super Indiana Jones.
Just like totally. Whatever.
No, like, I'd actually really like it if he had to help. He actually had to help Boba get the Slave 1 back. So, like, because they're both Mandalorians, and they help each other out, and then possibly they team up later or whatever, right?
Yeah, it makes me wonder.
I don't want the Mandalorian to drive Slave 1. I think that it really just makes
Mandalorian.
Well, he's a clone of a Mandalorian.
Django.
Yeah, well, Django in the Clone Wars, they kind of confirmed that Django's not really a Mandalorian. He's kind of
wears the armor.
He just wears the armor, yeah. So I wonder if in this show
because in the EU he actually becomes Mandalore.
Yeah, I wonder if in this show maybe they'll clarify some things as to, because that was the words of the Prime Minister of Alderaan at the time, who was also kind of a scumbag. So maybe he was lying. I don't know.
Right. But, yeah, it's true.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll wrap it up for the week. But I guess we'll see you guys on the next one for the next episode of our Mandalorian after shows.
Yeah, sounds good. I just want to do a quick shout out to the frog lady and her quick hopping to get away from those spiders. That was hilarious.
That was such a great moment. Like, I did not expect that.
Made the episode.
I was like, yes. So good.
Well, that is the chapter 10 of Star Wars: The Mandalorian, which is out on Disney Plus. That was a pretty interesting episode. But anyway, thanks guys for tuning into the show, and we'll see you next week, of course, for the Mandalorian season 2, episode 3, chapter 11, episode after show. And I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary tracks. I know we get pretty heated when it comes to some of the sequel stuff, but we had to get them all. It was a marathon through the whole thing, so leave us some feedback. Let us know what you think about the commentary tracks, about this series as well, about The Mandalorian, doing the after shows. We're going to get probably another voice or two on the show as we go along. As soon as the schedule opens up, we're going to be recording these on a different evening, so it might actually work out that we've got a little more life happening around the escape pod, other than just myself and Blake and Reed, because it's good to keep things interesting, get some variation in those voices out there. But if you guys want to send us some feedback, tweet us at SW Escape Podcast, emails theescapepod@outlook.com, send us a voicemail, and we'd love to hear from you and hear your voice on the show. So we'll see you next time, and may the Force be with you.